Okay, so in this video, I give you the graph, but in these types of problems, the graph's not going to be given. You'll have to graph it yourself. But I just want to show that the graph is given. We know our center right here is going to be at 4, 0. Okay? And I can tell the radius by counting 1, 2, 3 units. So the radius is equal to 3. So I can get the actual equation just by doing, x minus 4 quantity squared plus y squared. There's no shift at 0, so it's just y squared is equal to 9. Okay, so from the picture, that's what this equation is going to give us. But if I actually have to put it in that form without the picture, using the equation that's given, it's a little bit difficult, or it can be. And the reason it's difficult is because of what I have in here. The y, you'll notice that there's no other y value. It's just the y squared. And notice what we have here. We just have a y squared. But how do I take this piece right here and convert it so it's listed as a quantity squared? And what we have to do here is complete the square. So this was something we saw back when we talked about quadratics, and we're going to have to apply it here to go from this. This is actually considered standard form, and we're going to convert it to this form. Okay? And so in order to complete the square, just to review, I take the middle term, which is b, I divide it by 2, and square it. And I have to add that to both sides. And so we'll go through this step by step. I'm going to rewrite the equation here because I got some notes above. So I have x squared minus 8x. And I'm going to go ahead and leave some space. And one of the things I do is if there's any constant, I'm just going to move it to the other side. So I change its sign, make it opposite, and move it away. I should, not that I should, but there's some intuition that says this is going to be something to do with our radius. It's not our radius, but it's something to do with it. And so I'm going to add in a negative 8 divided by 2 squared. And so negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. And so negative 4 squared is a positive 16. So that's what I'm adding to the other side. And so we had a little trick here. This number ends up being a negative 4 squared, right? And the trick is that when we complete the square, whatever that number is before we square it becomes our factor, okay? Or the number that we have for our factor. So I have x minus 4 quantity squared plus y squared is equal to negative 7 plus 16. And negative 7 plus 16 is 9. And we'll notice here that it matches the equation that we came up with from the graph. And so these two guys are the same. So if I went ahead and took this and balanced for y and graphed it, I would get the same exact equation. And so all of our sections, we're going to get a lot of practice with what I just did right here. All of our sections, we're going to have to do this with all of the shapes. And so this is just our first introduction. I'll do more examples, but we need to make sure that we know how to complete the square. This is a skill that you need to make sure you understand how to do. So if you're confused with this, you need to talk to me, and we'll make sure that we get that taken care of so you are able to do it throughout the whole chapter.